Hi, it's Girish, and welcome back to our Red Teaming Ethical Hacking series. We're already on day 9, can you believe it? The time flies when you're knee-deep in firewalls and exploits, doesn't it? But seriously, I hope you're as pumped as I am because today, we're diving into the crucial steps of Red Hat ethical hacking. Now remember, ethical hacking is all about simulating real-world attacks to find and fix vulnerabilities before the bad guys do. We're talking about thinking like a hacker, acting like a hacker, but always operating with permission and within the bounds of the law. It's serious business, but don't worry, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Over the next few videos, we're going to break down each stage of a red team engagement, from reconnaissance to reporting. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of the tools, techniques, and mindset you need to succeed as an ethical hacker. So, buckle up, grab your favorite energy drink, and let's get started. Alright, let's kick things off with the foundation of any successful ethical hacking operation: reconnaissance. This is where you put on your detective hat and gather as much information about the target as possible. Think of it like building a case. You need evidence, right? We're talking about scoping out their network infrastructure, identifying potential vulnerabilities, and even profiling key personnel. We'll be exploring tools like Nmap for network scanning, Shodan for finding exposed devices, and even good old-fashioned Google dorking to uncover hidden information. Trust me, the more you know about your target, the more successful your attack will be. Now that you've gathered your intel, it's time to gear up and craft your attack. This is the weaponization phase, where you take that valuable information and use it to create a tailored exploit. This could be anything from a simple phishing email designed to trick an employee into giving up credentials to a sophisticated piece of malware that exploits a specific vulnerability in their system. Remember, we're ethical hackers, so we're not actually going to harm anyone or their data. But we need to think like the bad guys to stay one step ahead. We'll be exploring tools like Metasploit, which provides a framework for developing and executing exploits, and Burp Suite, which helps us analyze and manipulate web applications. This is where the rubber meets the road, folks. Exploitation is the art of leveraging those vulnerabilities you discovered during reconnaissance to gain unauthorized access to the target system. This is where all your hard work pays off, but it also requires precision and a deep understanding of how systems work. We'll be diving into different exploitation techniques like SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and buffer overflows. We'll also discuss how to use tools like Metasploit and Burp Suite to automate some of these attacks. Remember, our goal is to be as stealthy as possible while gaining a foothold within their network. Chapter 4. Privilege Escalation: Climbing the Ladder. Congratulations, you've breached the perimeter. But often the initial access you gain won't be enough. To achieve your objectives, you'll likely need to escalate your privileges. This means gaining higher-level permissions on the system, ultimately aiming for that coveted administrator or root access. We'll be exploring techniques for exploiting misconfigured systems, leveraging kernel vulnerabilities, and even hijacking legitimate processes to gain those elevated privileges. Tools like Mimikatz, which can extract passwords from memory, and Power Up, which helps identify privilege escalation paths, will be our trusty sidekicks in this endeavor. Chapter 5. Lateral Movement: Navigating the Network. Think of a network like a city, and you've just infiltrated one building. Lateral movement is about strategically moving through that city, gaining access to other buildings, and ultimately reaching your final destination, the target's most valuable assets. This involves techniques like pivoting, where you use the compromised system as a springboard to access other systems within the network. We'll be using tools like SecSec for remote command execution and Bloodhound for visualizing network relationships and identifying attack paths. Chapter 6. Maintaining access. Persistence is key. You've worked hard to gain access, so you don't want to lose it, right? Maintaining access is all about creating backdoors and establishing persistence mechanisms to ensure you can regain access to the target system even if they patch vulnerabilities or change passwords. We'll be discussing techniques like creating scheduled tasks, installing rootkits, and even hijacking legitimate services to maintain that covert foothold. Tools like Empire and Covenant will be our go-to for establishing and managing these persistent connections. This is where things get interesting, but also where ethical considerations are paramount. Data exfiltration is the process of extracting sensitive data from the target system, and it's crucial to do so responsibly and with permission. We'll be exploring techniques like DNS tunneling, which hides data within DNS traffic, and steganography, which conceals data within seemingly harmless files. Tools like FileZilla and WinSCP will help us transfer large files discreetly, while understanding encryption is essential for protecting sensitive data during exfiltration. Every good magician knows the importance of misdirection, and in the world of ethical hacking, clearing logs is our sleight of hand. It's about erasing those digital footprints to avoid detection and maintain stealth throughout the operation. We'll be looking at techniques for modifying or deleting system logs, event logs, and even browser history. Tools like CC Cleaner and Eraser can help automate some of these tasks, but understanding how to manually manipulate logs is essential for advanced cover-up operations. The ethical hacker's job isn't complete until the report is filed. This is where you document your findings, outlining the vulnerabilities you discovered, the methods you used, and the steps the organization needs to take to remediate those weaknesses. The goal is to provide actionable insights and recommendations to improve their overall security posture. We'll discuss best practices for creating clear, concise, and informative reports, ensuring that your findings are taken seriously and lead to real-world improvements. That's all for this video, folks. I know we covered a lot of ground, but trust me, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Red Team ethical hacking. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. Always hack ethically, legally, and with permission. In our next video, we'll dive even deeper into specific tools and techniques, so make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell turned on. And as always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments below. Keep those firewalls strong and those skills sharp.